right? They work together. Now, how do you plan a upskilling program for them, for this cohort at the same time? And have you observed any challenges? What were the learnings from there?
Okay. I don't think in manufacturing GCC is one size fits all type work, because the operations guys, they bring in tremendous business knowledge. They may not bring in technical expertise. Whereas the digital team, the tech team, they bring in the technical skills which are ultimately helping us to drive the manufacturing excellence. So our role is to bring these two talents together and give them a common platform where we can derive synergy from combining the expertise from both operation side and the digital side. So I personally believe that having a common program to achieve both cohorts probably is not a justice to the manufacturing excellence program. I'll give you an example. Within Sonoco, we manufacture a lot of packaging products, and there are different verticals wherein we classify these products. So one of the easy known product is the Pringles chips, the cans. We call them composite cans. So we have a large piece of business coming out of that division. We call it RPC, rigid paper container. And the technology there is, we have the machines which runs as fast as 250 cans per minute. And then we have paper mills where we are running 120 meters per minute. And we have converting plants where we are doing 50 cones per minute. So all these three segments are different manufacturing segments where we are producing different products. And if you ask me a common technology, SCADA ignition. All of them uses that. But an expert on SCADA ignition from the tech side who is helping and closely working with our RPC plant will not be effective on our other plants like paper mill or even on the converting plant. So the manufacturing business requirements are completely different, and the manufacturing excellence programs what we run, they require different tech skills, although the functional domain is the same. And the business has different needs from the technical side. So I think as leaders, our responsibility is to provide that common platform where we bring in both business experts and the tech experts so that we can derive the synergy out of it.
So in manufacturing also, technical and the operational lines are becoming thin, and somewhere they are overlapping in.
Absolutely. If we have to be targeting the manufacturing excellence, I think we cannot target it from one side. Not from operating side alone or from tech side alone. Both have to work together very, very closely.
Thanks, Arvind. Moving to Vishal, right? In the media and advertising industry where the creativity is the biggest asset, how do you see when an AI agent makes a bad creative call? Who is accountable, and how do you see this can be handled?
Thanks for that. Just for quick background and reference, so I represent Omnicom, which is today the world's largest marketing and sales organization. If you stumble upon or if you're consuming any ad through any channel, highly likely it's coming from Omnicom on behalf of our client. As we are aggressively and more adapting and driving AI usage into the entire creativity process, which leads to ads and content that we publish and we deliver on behalf of our clients, that's a very critical question that we get asked, not just in forums like these, but also from our clients in RFPs and in everything. So a few things. One, for us, AI is a co-creator. It's not a decision maker. We believe in human in the loop concept. There is always a leadership accountability intact. If an AI judgment goes wrong or the outcome goes wrong, the end accountability sits with the leadership who owns the entire AI outcome. Few ways we kind of deliver that. One, we maintain a very focused traceability to the outcome. That means if at any point of the juncture across the entire workflow where multiple agents are deployed and there is agentic ecosystem being designed, anything goes wrong, we have a way to trace it back and really kind of pinpoint exactly where things are falling apart. So we absolutely get that. As I said, human in the loop is a concept that we keep intact no matter what. So every leader is fully accountable to the end outcome that they are expected to deliver. And lastly, AI is augmenting scale and speed to market, is not really the end judge of what really comes out into the market, and that's where role of creative practitioners and leaders who are involved in that entire workflow is more critical than ever with this involvement and the expectation of AI into it. So yeah, so creativity and the creative leadership and the creative talent, it will always shine. But now with AI, the expectation of that coming out faster in the market is just gone multi times up.
Okay, so AI and the agents are augmenting the way workforce is working, but the accountability is still with the team.
Always.
Yeah, all right. Moving to Amol, you sit on the technology and the delivery side. Your teams are implementing the solution, which is contact center as a service and the AI solutions, right? And from the vantage of the position where you see after implementing these solutions to the clients, right? How do you see the discussion on the headcount and the roles which have been in the industry for quite some time, right? It's changing. And how do you see it is going in next 2-3 years?
Sure. So, I come from TTech Digital, which is a global leader in CX solutions and consulting. And you rightly said, we are at the forefront of this disruption. Simple example is back in the days when we used to deploy solutions, they were for agents, which were human beings, contact center agents as they are known. Today, we deploy agents ourselves, which are not humans, right? In the word of agentic AI. So I think that is the fundamental shift. I would not simplify this by saying that it's a direct headcount conversation. It does come up, but we like to think it as, our ability to amplify the ability of a single human by adding at his or her command more agents available. So, the outcomes are much more faster, more measurable, and more predictive, even with respect to the tasks at hand and also the ability to do analytics and other stuff on it. So I think and the jury is still out, right? It's early days because everyone's figuring it out in terms of what the broader impact is going to be on the current set of roles that humans are playing. There is definitely some reality to it that some of the redundant menial tasks are much better off deploying a AI agent rather than having a human do it. But that also means that for the right set of people, if they are able to pick up those more complex decision-making roles, right? So the way we look at it is, you asked that same question to Vishal. Decision-making is best left to humans, but doing the groundwork for allowing that person to take the right decisions is something that is what's getting disrupted. So I hope that gives some context in terms of how this is shaping up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Moving on to Rupesh, who is sitting with the most regulated industry, right, where everything comes under the radar of regulations. If agent is making a call or an action in the financial process, what do you think, who is going to be accountable? And is that, you see any changes in the industry with agents and humans coexisting? What are your observations within the BFSI, which is highly regulated industry?
Yeah, we are highly regulated for the right reasons. We handle people's money, right? So think of if a situation or an example, a customer goes to a website of a company, of an airlines company, and starts chatting with the chatbot there, saying, hey, I'm looking to purchase an airline ticket from a point A to a point B. What are the options, and on and on. The conversation goes on. The person says, the customer says, by the way, I had a bereavement in family. So can you offer me discounted fare for bereavement because I'm going for a bereavement purpose? The chatbot said, yes, we can do that. Now, and this is a real example, that airlines had no such thing as bereavement fare as you would expect, right? They wouldn't. But the chatbot committed. The customer went to the court saying their chatbot committed that there is a bereavement fare, so I am entitled to that discount, which they said. The company said, no, algorithm was wrong, they made a mistake, they did. Of course, they lost the case. Now, this is a prime example, and this I'm sure you've read this case. This happened at the very early onset of this AI chatbot scenario. And this was a great example of saying that regulators don't penalize the algorithms, they penalize the organizations that run it. So it's the ownership which matters, and banks, like any other industry, is no different. Now, what is changing in the BFSI space is the models around it, right? So you have agents, you will, over a period of time, have more agents doing work, but the accountability does not shift. Organization has to have it. So what is happening around a lot of this, and we still, as this industry is still evolving around this, is around the governance, is around controls, is the ownership, all of those factors. It's no more, okay, who is doing the work? Is it an intern? Is it a junior analyst? Is it an agent or agentic AI? Doesn't matter. The ownership lies. And that whole process around this is what is very critical for bank or really any industry for that matter.
Thank you so much. So what I'm getting or taking from this discussion is that the future skill set for the teams is adaptability, continuous learning, not sticking to the current role or the technology or the domain they would have acquired over the years, right? And then having human always in the controlling or the final decision making, though agents are going to help them to automate or fast track the things. Now moving on to the flash round, which I will have all of you answer me one question. Name one talent matrix that you have been using for the last 4-5 years or more than that, but now you see that that matrix is no more helpful to give you any good decisions and you want to retire it, and you are retiring it and bringing what new matrix. So we'll start with Vishal.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick. I see the time. I think we are almost there. So what we have been looking in the past was the metric called utilization, which was more as an indicator of busyness, like time in seat, time sheets and stuff. Not that we are taking away time sheet. I mean, we need to still have time sheets filled, but that's no longer the core, one of the core metrics of defining talent productivity or talent outcome. We have moved from there into something that we call value impact or value driver. We have, to be very specific, in my organization, we have introduced a metric called +1. +1 is the value that any employee brings in their day-to-day work that is captured and being measured upon. And from a GCC standpoint, because our projections, we are not selling to our global partners every day. We are just projecting to make sure they have the confidence that we can deliver great strategic output and be that partner. And for us, the real value really comes when it happens day to day with the employee that engages with the global teams or the global work. And if you can bring that value impact there, I think that's the most best sell that happens. Which is where the +1 that we have introduced in our system, that we expect every employee to deliver a +1 to whatever they expected to, measures and brings that value intact, and then that's one thing that we have introduced.
Thank you. Santosh?
So earlier we had LMS completion hours, 40 hours, 50 hours. Then we came to skill velocity and skill application. What metrics which I want to change, which I have got changed in my organization? Attrition rate. Normally if you go and speak to HR, no offense to HR, anybody is here, they will ask you 12% of attrition rate. But they will not give any data, how many of them are the top performer. So now there is a concept of regretted attrition rate. I want to know how many of my top performers are growing with this company, staying with us, and giving referral to some other candidate from another company. So regretted attrition rate, which I want to introduce in my company, which is very early stage of deployment, but from attrition rate, average attrition rate to regretted attrition rate, because in the era of AI, the average is no longer do any work.
Thanks, Rupesh.
Mine is not very, very different, but one of the metrics which I'm sure all of you would relate to is something like number of hours of training per employee, right? That is something which pretty much all the organizations monitored at some point in time. Now that is a metric which is already dumped or ready to be dumped. It has no significance. I think all the organizations are now monitoring not number of hours you put it in the training, but what you get out of it. somebody was sharing that example of Copilot in their organization, right? That's a prime example of it. We in an organization or in this industry, there's a training imparted, Copilot issued, and then what we are checking is what is the usage per employee of that tool? What are they using it for, right? So that it's the application of that learning and not just the hours that you put in. So I think that number of hours is sort of gone away. It's a thing for dustbin. It's really more about the outcome part, something which both of you stressed upon as well.
Thanks, Rupesh.
I will supplement to what Rupesh just said. At Sonoco, we are a 125 years old legacy company, and we have our own Sonoco University, online university, where we have 700 plus courses. And it has been a practice all these years to assign a lot of training programs to all the employees. And I will be honest in admitting that during my early part of journey within Sonoco, I was also getting a lot of training programs assigned. I will just do them and just be done with it, forget about it, not even implement it. So we realized that, as you rightly said, all this counting of how many training programs you attended, how many courses you have completed, these activities have no significance, no meaning. It's not about the learning activities, it's about the learning outcome. What impact we are deriving out of these training programs. So we are rather now focusing on how effectively the employees are able to use these trainings and implement them effectively into their day-to-day work so they can create some meaningful business impact.
Thanks. Amol?
Very short, because most of it is already covered. One is the AI tool usage, the efficiency of what the cost is and whether people are really using and for what. So we also have this concept of, putting some use cases out so that some of them can become part of our library of agents that we create internally, right? So if there is something great someone is doing, that gets amplified and standardized and it's available for everyone to download and use. On the employee side of it, top quartile attrition is what we are now tracking. We are not tracking headcount growth and regular attrition rates because that has its own significance earlier, but we are not really deeply impacted. So top quartile, is there a churn in the top talent that we have? That's the primary focus on the talent side that we have.
Thank you. Thank you so much, each one of you, for the great discussion that we had. Clearly, one theme that is coming across from all 5 different sectors that we had, that the futurist skills for future-ready GCCs are shifting. There is a push from the leadership team also to upskill the team, but with agents, have human in the loop, and then change the matrices to be value-driven organization than the cost centers. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Meenakshi.
Thank you.
Thank you, our moderator and panelists, for having such a smooth and engaging session. Now I would like to invite Mr. Jigar Soni to present a token of appreciation to our moderator and all our panelists. Presenting the token of appreciation to Meenakshi Pandey, COO, BFSI GCC. Can we have the applauses going? Presenting memento to Mr. Amol Gupta. Next up we have Mr. Arvind Chitora, Managing Director, Sonoco India GCC. Next up we have Mr. Rupesh Goyal, Managing Director, First Citizens Bank. Moving forward, presenting memento to Mr. Santosh Pandey, Director, Crow. Next up, we have Mr. Vishal Srivastav, CEO, OGS. Now can we have a group photograph? Thank you, everyone. As we move forward, we now turn to our panel discussion titled Security Without Compromise, the New Trust Architecture for Global Enterprises. To lead this discussion, we are joined by our esteemed moderator, Swaminathan Babu, GCC Corporate Functions and Governance, Reckitt. Can we have a warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome, sir. Now joining him on the panel are Mr. Abhishek Mitra, Director Information Security, PepsiCo. Moving on, we have Mr. Himanshu Gandhi, Site General Manager, India, Cohere Health India. Can we get the applauses going? Next up, I would like to call upon the stage Mr. Praveen Kumar, Associate Director, Aligned Talent and Joint Secretary, HCSC. Next up, I would like to call upon the stage Mr. Srinivas Vempati, Director, ITG and Cybersecurity, RR Donnelly. Thank you, gentlemen. Over to you.
I know that it's a very, very interesting session. I would like to take about 2 minutes. I did take permission from the team organizing. I want to walk down the stage and I want to say thank you to everyone. I want to say thank you to everyone just to ensure that we all are secure. The intent is we all are secure. I am secure, you are secure, and I want to sincerely express the gratitude on behalf of each and everyone on this stage. I sincerely appreciate and extend the gratitude for all your patience and your focus towards attending this session. The next 25 minutes, we will try to create the justice for your listening time. That's the assurance which we are trying to go and give. The respect for the time, what we want to go and